Okay, so using the knowledge we have gained, I think the Cyber Symposium was a shit show. Want me to be honest with you? I just it makes me angry when my name is dropped 50 times in a federal court in a case that I'm not invited to. I would actually like to be sued. See, I'm not one of the defendants in this case with One American News Network, but I sent 3 thumb drives to the judge, affidavits under penalty of perjury that I notarized in order to be entered as a defendant. It also pisses me off when my name gets dropped, even if they did it in a nice way at the Cyber Symposium, but I'm not there. Okay? There was a lot more that could have been said, and what they're presenting at the symposium is they're using out of county data, right? Like, what did Vice hit me for in their article? Because I use a New York Times JSON series, which now can't be found anywhere. That's why I only use county recorded data ever since. So we're going to use the New York Board of Elections data. Now, the weakness to all their models that we've learned is that in the end, they have to report numbers. They have to report integer votes for candidates. Okay. So we have the sheet here. I'm going to close these for now. We don't need this open. No idea what this stuff is. Forgot what it was. But we have the New York City. I guess you could call it the city recorder because it's 5 counties. You have the 5 bureaus. We have to make this usable. Okay, this is for the presidential primary 2020. And if there's not multiple ways of voting, I don't know if we can do anything. Let's just go look at the PDF because we want to understand how to read this. So let's look at one precinct. We don't know how to read it. We can't say anything about it. Okay. This is what we want to look at. It's a very long document, but I just have to be able to read like one precinct. I'm just saying what I'm looking at. The 7983. Okay, so public counter, I guess, is what they're counting. So, like, here's like one of the things I do find surprising. Okay, it's that if we look at the 2020 thing here, let's back up. It says that Joe Biden got 71% of the New York vote, which is really quite interesting because everybody from Suffolk County, where I live, to the city, were all the Democrats, at least, were, that I could actually see in real life. They were all Bernie Sanders supporters, my aunt and grandmother included. When I went into the city, it was get out the vote for Bernie Sanders. People wearing Bernie Sanders t-shirts, New York City. I never saw anything for Sleepy Joe. Now, if we go look at 2020 Democrat primary results nationwide, you'll see that California is like super Bernie, man, which is fine. That's what I would expect. So can I get that map? California. So you can see Bernie Sanders did a number on Joe over here. Okay. But let's look at the places where Joe Biden managed to win. It just doesn't make sense. And I think Bernie should have a lot more. So let me go to all chat. I'm gonna post something and then delete it really quick if you're here in chat because I really don't want the troll army uh coming after me where I am right now. Okay. I'm gonna post that and I'll leave you to figure out what that means before I go and delete it. So you have less than 60 seconds to copy that before I delete it. Deleting it 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm hitting delete. That was your chance. I'm not posting that again. Now, let's go over here. Okay. And so the first thing I'm noticing is that there's only one way to vote, or at least record it. So let's go take a look at this again. Absentee military. Now we don't know. Doesn't tell us how. That's the problem. We might not be able to gather anything from this. There has to be more than one mode. I'm trying to figure out like if you only had one mode, what would you do? Who were the I guess the people that came in third and fourth? We're gonna have to. I don't know if there's anything we can do, unfortunately, with the way it's reported. All we have is mean and standard deviation arguments. We're gonna have a very poor argument. 2020 Democrat primary results, New York. Oh, I got it right here in front of me. The only thing we'd be able to do, since there's only one mode that they report, is we'd have to put Joe, Bernie as X, Y, and everybody else as Z. I guess if there's a parametric surface, X, Y, Z. Then we know that something's wrong, but I don't know what else I could do. There's nothing I can really do with this kind of data. There has to be at least two ways of voting. We could extract possibly the poll place voting and the absentee vote as well, using the identities. Don't know, but it's possible. What else do we have anywhere else that we can possibly do in New York other than, let's say, Albany, Rensselaer? Maybe Westchester, right? Let's go take a look at Westchester. Westchester County, recorder, election results. Like, let's just hope there's two modes there. I can't. It's. I can. We can analyze one mode election, but we can't prove anything with a one mode election. That's the problem. We need at least two. So let's go take a look here. They really make this difficult, don't they? I don't think I've ever seen a county recorder's information that was so devoid of information. I've this is crazy. Let's go to Rochester, in this region here. Monroe County Recorder elections 2020. It's going to put in 2020. Doesn't help. All right, well, then we're going to have to do New York City. I don't know what we could possibly say. Copy sheet. We'll give it a shot. If I see something really crazy, then that's great. But I don't know. All right, so we have to extract. Um, we got to get precinct numbers going first. This is a lot of stuff here. So I don't know what this is. We're gonna get rid of that. That. So this would be the county number. Okay. Well, I just want to do precinct number. Precinct number. I can't care less about which county they're actually in. It's New York City. All right. So precinct number. Okay. This will be. We're going to start with 1, and then what we're going to do is write if this equals this, then this, otherwise 1 plus this. It's a lot of precincts. Okay. That is a lot of precincts. sample size is pretty large, which is a good thing. So if there's unusual activity, we'll have such a huge sample size to show that with. That's the one thing in our favor right now. Okay, that's the general precinct number. What we're going to do now is the county number. Then we're going to do the sub precinct number. So now we have 1, then we're going to start with if equals this, then this, otherwise 1 plus this. And this one will be if this equals this, then do something, otherwise start with 1. Otherwise, if this equals this, then this, otherwise 1 plus this. Okay, here we go. That code should work. Very good. Let's make sure. And here it did a switch, just as we wanted it to, when we got to the Bronx. Okay. So hopefully we don't need this information, but if we do need it, we know where to find it. It's right here. Jesus, what is going on? Use ODF. Okay. eBay is bugging out, so let's come back. Libre is still not working. Details. Yeah, something was eating me alive on my processor. Okay, let's bring that back. Okay. And this is our official precinct number here. And what we need to do now is we need to extract the candidate names here. So the way we're going to do this, okay, Oh, hold on. I guess this is some sort of district number. Like imagining this is the ward number. Okay, so now I have that. This would be the county name. It's for county. For the name. Obviously, it's the county name. We know it's this, so I can delete that. We know it's that. We know it's that. Does New York City tell me anything? No. Okay. Get rid of that too. All right, so now this is their database index for the president. And this is the, let's call that info because we're going to make that into something. All right. Tally. Now we have to make this something useful. All right, so this has to say, let's entitle it useful for a moment. And we have to do this with an if loop. If equals then 1. Let's go put 2 for a second. Manually counted emergency. What the hell is that? Anyway, if this equals is 2, this will say if this equals then 3, affidavit is provisional. We don't care about that. So then we're going to do we have 3, so we want to do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. My God. Woo! Otherwise, if and 4, and here's the thing, they use like funny characters a lot. They don't do it on purpose. It's just the way it formats. So then you have to literally copy and paste the exact character text Unicode that they use. So now we have if H2 is equal to, put in 5, that the same everywhere? Okay, good. Then we're going to put 6. Like, you would think I could just type in Tulsi Gabbard and Bernie Sanders, but I can't, because if they use a different like font character that doesn't match my keyboard, it actually doesn't show up. We've learned that the hard way many times. All right, so now we're going to do if H2 is Tulsi Gabbard, we're going to put 7. If H2 equals Bernie Sanders 8, I would have thought Bloomberg would have got more votes in the city than Sleepy Joe. All right, next we have if H2 9, and if then okay, hold on. We got to put the right name in there, though. We skipped one of the nameless people. All right, so we have that. Okay, then do this. Then 11. We have Elizabeth Warren. I think she's the third most popular. So, like, this is what I don't get. Anybody that wasn't a Bernie supporter where I live and in the city was then Elizabeth Warren supporter. There were I don't know of any Biden supporters during the primaries. I really don't know of any. All right, so now if equal to 12, we're going to do if H2 and 12 now there was a weird relationship between Yang and Bernie in the Iowa caucuses. We'll see if we see that again here in the city. So in general, Biden and Yang, they're similar in many ways. So we do expect Yang to perform better in places where Bernie performs better. But unlike all the other candidates, who had normally distributed bell curve percentages and quantile functions at the caucuses, Bernie had a deacceleration, okay, that cut off the right half of his bell curve, and his votes went into Yang. So he had a very left-tailed distribution, and Andrew Yang had a very right-tailed distribution. So we'll see if we see that again. Okay, so anyway, let's move on. We're going to have if H2 equals Andrew Yang, then 13, and then we have one more. Well, that's it, otherwise 14. Oh, we have all the other ones, so hold on. Let me put if H2 equals otherwise 15. That's our dummy number. Let's just do a quick check on the code before we run it. Okay, should be good to go. Let's let it rip. Looks like it did its job. Okay. I'm going to save it before I do this because we're going to have to do some sorting here. So if it's 15, it's not useful. So that's the first thing we can do. Data sort by useful. So right here. First thing I can do. All right, now let's go back to precinct number. And then by useful. Okay. What we want to do now is append everything to where it belongs. So we have to make 14 columns, okay? This would be PC. Manual counted emergency. I don't think we're gonna get a single vote in there. We're gonna have. I'm just gonna write NIV, okay? And then we can start getting our candidates, okay? PP. Amy K. Biden. Tulsi. Bernie. Bloom. Steyer. Bennett. Warren. We want to watch Yang very carefully based on what happened in Iowa. So we're not going to lump him in with everybody else. And then we're going to have Devil. Okay, let me make sure I have the right count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. We got to check one more thing. We have to make sure that every precinct is in the exact same format. So we're going to do a little test. Okay. Test. I'm going to put it, just going to start it with 0. If equals 14, otherwise 0, then if equals 1, then 0, otherwise 1. I think I wrote it backwards. So if H3 is 14, okay, then if H4 equals 1, then 0, then 1. Okay, ready. So we want to make sure the column sum is 0. Okay, now, obviously the last one went off the thing. But let's do. Okay, and we're going to test it the other way real quick. Let's test 1, test 2. This will be if it equals 1. Okay. And if I2 equals 14, then 0, otherwise 1. You want to make sure they're all cyclic modulus 14. And then we're just going to do another column sum here. Okay, that's a problem. We have to go figure out what happened. Ooh, I found one. We got to find a single one so we know what's going on. I'm just going to scroll till I see it. Okay, right here. So what happened? Oh, this is going to suck. All right, so this is precinct, yeah, precinct 19. Okay, they have no votes. That's why. So instead of saying 0 for everybody, they screwed us. This is why I check this shit, because then they're gonna say I'm debunked because they don't know how to report data. Okay, so now we have to deal with this. I'm thinking what we're gonna do. I have to see one more example so I know how it interacts. It would probably be a null entry every time. So if I just ran a reverse pivot table code down that whole spreadsheet without knowing that, we would have had the wrong information everywhere. I saw a 1. Okay, so what happened here? This precinct only has 3 entries because it has they don't report their information. Is that what it's saying? Okay, this one. So it's a null entry. So every time we get a 1, okay, we're going to have to write the code so that it flags these 3 precincts always that's above it. So let's have to screenshot the code we're going to write here. This is what we have to deal with. Okay. So the way we're going to write this is okay, find null, okay? If equals 1, then 1. Otherwise, if h4 equals 1, then 1. Otherwise, if h3 equals 1, then 1. Otherwise, 0. All right, so let's see if this works. It should work. Let's see why it wouldn't work. Oh, I think I saw an example. So what happened here? So we had 3 null precincts in a row. So 847 has all the data. Then we have a null precinct, followed by another null precinct. Okay. Make sure. Oh, I think I saw another one. Right here. Oh, we found another one. Good. So the code is definitely working. So I'm going to take this code here. We're going to put it back in a moment. We have to run the tests again when we're done. That's the first one. Test 2. We need, come on, man. Test 2. Okay. Do by find null descending. Okay, these are all the precincts. See how they all have no votes in them? Okay. We're going to return back to the ordering. Precinct number. And then useful. Oh, I'm going to do it the other way. Sending, ascending. There we go. Test 1, test 2, 0, 0. Oh, it's sorted by sum. All right, useful. Okay. 0, 0. Zero. Again, we just want to make sure that the column sums here are otherwise equal to 0. Very good. We have no more testing to do. Okay. Now we can invert the pivot table. So here we go. So we're going to write this is equal to this, that equals that, 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 that. So basically, we're doing a gigantic matrix transposition. That's another way you can think of if you're into math. Dynamic matrix transposition. It's what I dream about at night. And that should be everything. All right, so it should read 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. That's weird. How did that jump to... Should read 12. I don't know what happened. Okay, 12. That's why I check. Warren. I probably clicked down here. Yang. Okay, let's check again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we can drop the code. Now we're going to take the first line, okay, of every precinct on useful 1. We're going to check 1 at random. I have 137, 0, 38, 3, 0, 129, 0, 26, 5 on Bloomberg, 0, 0, 6 on Warren, 5 on Yang, 0. And we should start with 91. Very good. Everything is good to go. Let's make sure we have no running code. Before I do this, I don't think we do. Okay, now we're going to sort by useful and then by precinct number. Okay. Now we have all the tabulations. And we're going to get rid of everything from here to here. All right, first question, is anything a manually counted emergency? Imagine if the county recorder put it in the city recorder, just put it in this format for us. All right, there's actually 292. So you know what that means? It's a worthless column. So it's just like, if they put it like this to begin with, people like me wouldn't struggle so much to find out if something happened to Bernie Sanders. And then people ask, like, where's the proof? It's like, dude, it's like, even if people want to help and find proof, it's you literally obstruct people in every way, just in the way you report and format the data. And this is very time consuming. We're not even doing analysis yet. All right, so we're going to put Biden here. We're going to put Bernie here. I'm going to handle Yang separately. I'm going to keep him outside the box for now. Okay? Because funny things have happened with him. Okay, now everybody else is going to get hit with the other button. Well, we'll do an other for now. All right, we'll do it this way. It's equal to the sum. You know what? I don't trust the columns, row sums. They don't always work. So I'm just going to do n across, okay? N2 plus O2 plus P2 plus Q2 plus R2. Sometimes row sums bug. That's why I don't want to do it that way. All right, other. Excellent. I'm going to put Biden here. We're going to convert this now to something we can actually read. Like, what's like the reddest red I can get? That's as red as it gets? Come on, man. Like, what's the bluest I can get? Nah, bro. There's got to be a darker blue than that. Okay. I'm going to put other right here. Right? These are the three things we normally care about. And what we're going to do now, because we only have one mode, okay, we want to try and figure out what exactly is going on, the best of our knowledge. So we're going to do X, Y, T, and then we want to do, well, that's it. There's only one mode, so I don't know what else to do. So this is equal to Biden divided by Biden plus Bernie plus other. And then what we're going to do is this will be Bernie, and this will be everybody else. Put it in percentages. Let's go get our first look. Oh God, please make this easy. 3D scatter plot. I had one right here, but we'll take a look. What? That can't be right. Stop pulling my leg. Even they can't make a triangle in space like that. Sorry. That can't be right. I mean, maybe they can, but this doesn't seem right. What? Is this real? Oh, this has to be, yeah, this is a tautology. We're not looking at anything interesting here. I was going to say, dude, come on. Let's have the tautology. That can't be normal. Wait, is it a tautology? Remember that everything has to add up to 100%, okay? So it sort of makes it tautology-like. I don't know if this is usable anyway. No, obviously, if we know one and two, we know the other. Yeah, this is a tautology. This is not useful information, unfortunately. So what else can we do then? There's nothing we can do when it comes to parametric equations. So what we can do instead is see what happens with zeta. Okay. So we have their aggregates technically, but we do have a zeta. So we can look at x zeta. But x, y, and t are all implying each other. So let's see what we can do. I got excited there for a second. I was like, nah. Couldn't be that easy. So zeta is equal to this divided by this. Oh, hold on. All the way around. It's equal to this divided by this. And is there anything else we can extract? We have aggregate. Can't we technically get some sort of cross aggregate? Oh, it's an interesting question. How many votes did everybody have? Let's take a look. I'm going to do that for a moment. I want to put the precinct number here. And I'm going to lock this column. Okay. Let's go look again because I couldn't read the headers. All right, this is equal to sum. Screenshot this again. What we're going to do is what the hell just happened? What we're going to do Sort these columns from least to greatest, column wise, based on that total number. That way I can understand what's going on. So the first person we want to put in front is Warren. Then Bloomberg. I knew he couldn't do that bad. He's from New York City, man. And then Yang. Okay, now I don't really care about the order of anybody else. Wait, did Pete really do that bad? Okay. I told you. Oh, he got more votes than Amy. All right, so now we're looking for a case of insufficient information. So X, Y allows me to solve T. But X, Y doesn't let me solve zeta. So let's try that. We're just going to have to hope we get lucky on this one. We're going to sort by zeta. So we had a couple of infinity zetas up here. And that, let's try again. No. That's too bad. Okay. Let's do this then. Let's sort this by X. Those aren't the actual precinct numbers at the moment. I'm just trying to get a scatter plot going. We need to know which is moving with which. As soon as my computer's done having a heart attack, I guess. I literally can't use my computer right now. I don't know what's going on. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I can't use the computer. Oh my god. Dude, what the hell? I'm gonna hit the. This is nuts. That's kind of what I wanted to see. All right, so what do we notice right away? I think that T is pass. It's actually concave down the entire time, which is really weird. First thing I think I notice. Only one way to know. No. Okay. That rules that out. Looks it though. Doesn't it? I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Just give me a few minutes while I think. I don't know how much you can do with a one mode election. All right, so we're looking for a case of insufficient information that lets us solve something. Okay, let's do this. This will be Yang. Let's get a GT here. Data is our only other parameter that we have. Come on, man, give me something. Yeah, that was worthless. Definitely getting more interesting. If zeta less than 1, then 1 over zeta. Zeta. Holy shit. Jesus. What the hell? That is pretty wacky. Whoa. That should be a happy little parabola. That's some weird shit. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if I take out the worst zetas, like what happens? Let's go 5 to 5. Maybe that was see now. Whoa, dude. My God. What did they do over here? All right. How about Warren Bloomberg? Let's try that. So let's try this then. We need a case of insufficient information. So let's try Warren Bloomberg heat divided by grand total. And let's do Yang, Amy, Tulsi, Stair, Bennett. Let's see that again. Yang, basically playing guessing games at this point because there's only one mode voting. This is horrible. Let's see what happens here. If we were to try to interpret this, which is virtually impossible, what is it saying? It's saying as Biden's vote increases and as can we get this from 0, 0? That would be very helpful. All right, so it says as you increase Biden's percentage, and you increase the other candidate's percentage. That zeta in general is going down. It's a very, very weak relationship. But for mostly high zeta, it's saying that Biden is taking all the votes. That would be absentee votes, mail in votes. It's a weak relationship, though. I think we're gonna need every single candidate's percentage. It's the only way. We're just gonna have to do it. I have to brute force it. X, Y, T, W1, 2. Oh, we can just put their names in. Whatever this number is, divided by whatever that number is. So I'm going to do we have to figure out who's correlated with who. It's basically the last ditch attempt here. So we have two types of candidates so far. Linear candidates and non-linear. Apparently Biden got 200% of the votes somewhere. That's interesting. I'd love to see that. Where did that happen? Dude, what? Wow, that's what it says. It says he got 200% of the vote. What? I gotta see this. Did I write the equation wrong? Nah. Bro, what? Let's go write the 1799. Oh, how can that be? There's only 7 votes in the precinct. It says Biden got 15 votes. Well, that one's probably like a manual error. It's not like it's a 10,000 vote precinct. Let's see what else there is. If that was like a 5,000 vote precinct, I'd be like, what? All right, let's go look at 2218. 2218. These are probably just manual errors. Like, it makes me mad, like, when I see, like, conservatives, like, point to things that I'm pretty sure are manual errors in the other election that I can't say here. It's like, dude, it's like you're making a mountain out of a molehill. Like, there's, like, real things that you can talk about. All right, 2281. Oh, let's go find it. It's a manual error. It's a manual error. You know, shit happens. 2281. Right. All right. So it says that Biden got 100 votes. I don't see the problem. What's the problem here? Oh, it's this precinct. So Biden got 66 votes out of 57. These are probably the few precincts that had those extra votes in the other modes that I just like deleted. Well, whatever. Not a big deal. Moving on. So anyway, we have linear and non-linear candidates, okay? Warren is linear. Yang is linear. Amy Klobuchar is linear. I think everybody else is non-linear. So Elizabeth Warren looks very formulaic in a sense. So you know what I mean? Like this looks, it looks like she just drops off in a perfectly straight line. I notice again the same thing with Yang. He just drops off in a perfect line. I mean, there's nothing I can really say about this election because there's only one mode. It's technically two, but they don't tell me the breakdown. We would have to see what the breakdown looked like. But we'll save it for now. But let's see if there's another state that maybe has a better breakdown. And we're not going to find anything in New York. Just based on how they reported it. There's nothing I can do. They hid a lot of information from us in New York. We have they don't tell us how people voted depending on whether they showed up at the precinct or if they voted absentee. They just tell us the total amount. So that doesn't help us. All right, let's go look at it. Democrat 2020 primary date in each state. We want the latest ones possible, as far into COVID as possible. All right. So we need to state with early voting. How about Texas? And I never wanted early voting to exist so much in my life. There's a Michael Bloomberg who's winning primaries in Texas. How did that happen? What? Dude, what? Dude, that's crazy. I think Evan's really wrong over in Texas again. I'll be right back. I'm gonna make coffee. I mean, when Bloomberg is picking up counties in Texas, but he can't even pick up a single precinct in New York. When Bernie smashes Biden in California, but gets annihilated by Biden in New York, I think there's something really wrong in New York. But the only way we're going to find out what happened in New York is if we can compile the model they use from other states with two or more modes. And then we can figure out what plane equation they hit Bernie with. So we're going to go look at Texas again. Back to Texas. Let's do Dallas County Recorder. Election results. Here we go. Get ready to party. Who won in Nevada? Nevada was a really easy county for the general election. Oh, it's a caucus. Well, of course Bernie won. It's a fucking caucus. It's a head count. It's amazing when you have a head count of people that have to physically show up in person and can only be in one place at one time. Actual real people. It's amazing how Bernie just smashes Biden. Oh, Buttigieg picked up almost as many votes as Biden. Like every election in the United States should just be a caucus event. Even the general election. If you want Bernie Sanders, stand over here. If you want Trump, stand over here on this side of the gym at your local high school. Make Election Day a national holiday at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time across the whole United States. They do a head count in every high school in the United States of who's voting for who. Oh, but Ed, that would ruin the secret ballot. So what? It ain't working. The secret ballot isn't there to protect the privacy of your vote. That was never the purpose. Secret ballot was implemented because of the political machines in the early 20th century and the late 19th century buying votes. Wasn't done for any particular voter's privacy. Oh, but I feel like I might get peer pressured by my neighbors. Well, you know what? Sucks, doesn't it? Do as the Romans do. If you're gonna be, what's the expression? Do as the Romans do, as in Rome. If 95% of your county is liberal and you're the one conservative, then do yourself a favor and go stand on the liberal side then. I would rather have peer pressure being the only thing that influences our election results than voting machines with quartic manifold formulas, okay? All right, let's go open this up. Oh yeah, this is gonna be strong. We should went straight to Texas. All right, save as. Dallas STEM primary. Okay, let's let's go turn this into something that we can use. All right, so what do we need here? Okay. All right, let's get the guy from New York who's more popular in Texas than New York over here. Who were the other whacked out winners here? All right, Warren. How do you get a tie with four major candidates? Like, how does that work? I guess it has to do with the delegate count or something. All right, so put Warren over here. Shit, it's hard, man. All right, this is what I need to know with everybody else. Let's go put all right, so everybody else is a nothing candidate, basically. Okay, that's what I needed to know. All right, so all right, now other advanced, other male, other EDV. Yeah, it's going to take a few moments here. Plus, 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 plus. Plus, 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 plus. All right. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Okay. It says. All right, so we're just going to look at precincts that don't really have many votes. It's like a 2-vote precinct where we don't really care. How did I get that? Oh, because half of these are in values. Okay. Value. C2. I don't trust row sums. Okay. For this type of an election, we're going to put our threshold at 100 ballots cast. Okay. So what's the most popular way to vote around here? So we want to look at I notice that Biden's getting a lot of mail-in votes again. Bloomberg somehow gets more mail-in votes than Bernie. Even though like 1 trillion people show up for Bernie on election day and in the early voting. In fact, Warren almost got as many as Bernie. Okay, so we're going to probably see a beautiful plane equation for this one. So I'm guessing they're going to leverage the advance vote, the mail-in vote here against the advance vote. Based on what I'm seeing here. And then they're going to unify that, and they're going to do it against the election day vote. Or they're going to unify advance and mail-in against the election day vote. But that being said, we still need to know what the advance to mail-in plane is. The other problem we have is that we have technically 5 major candidates: Biden, Bernie, Bloom, Warren, and other. And the others do make up a significant portion of the vote when you combine them all. So let's say we assume that the first relationship has to be set So I'm thinking what they're going to do is they're going to treat in the algorithm, they're going to take Bernie, Bloomberg, and Warren and treat them as one candidate. Okay? We're going to assume that they didn't play around with the yellow columns over there for the moment. So the good news is that there's a small finite number of combinations that we have to go through to figure out what it is. So they could have treated, for instance, Warren and Bernie as a super candidate, okay, and Biden and Bloomberg as another super candidate, combined candidate, and then disperse the things out that way. I think the most likely, based on our experience with all the other shenanigans we've seen elsewhere, that it's going to be Biden against Bernie, Bloomberg, Warren as a single tabulation. And then they're going to disperse the relationship from Bernie to Bloomberg, Warren. Okay? And then they're going to have the breakdown for Bloomberg and Warren. I think that's going to be the order in which you would do this. Logically, if I was programming this, that's how I would do it. So let's go see what happens here. So we're going to put this in purple, okay? Super, advanced, super. This will give a new meaning to Democrat super delegates in the future. Super EDV, okay? So this will be equal to Bernie Warren. We can always add in the others we need to. Okay. So let's go get our X, Y, T vectors. X, Y, T. So this will be equal to Biden divided by Biden plus okay. Make sure this is working. Okay. The last thing we have to do is fix our divide by zero errors. So we just do this by saying if, then we're going to give them 50% of nothing. Otherwise this, and then if this equals 0, then we give, like I said, both candidates 50% of nothing. Close parenthesis. More time. Okay. Let's go ahead. And let's just go for the lowest hanging fruit first. Let's go for our 3 aggregates. Okay. I'll put alpha in later. Ag2, Ag3. That's equal to E2 plus E2 divided by D2 plus S2 plus E2 plus T2. We gotta do that if thing. If I even get the right okay. Jesus. Come on, man. If is equal to if. Oh, this is so annoying. Equals if and 50%, otherwise that. If this equals 0, Okay. Now we're going to do D, F, D, S, F, and U. That D, S, D, S, F, U, S, U. Okay. And now finally, if E, T, F, U, then E, F, E, T, F, U. Okay, hopefully I plug these in right. I got a feeling this is going to work. If not, I'm going to bed because I'm very tired. I'm going to bed even if it works. I just want to see a result. What is this? 3D. Ooh, I'm close. I'm close. That's for sure. But it's definitely not the exact combo. But it's something very close to that. We'll figure it out tomorrow. Ooh. 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 Oh, that is close. Oh, shit, dude. Well, let's see what multilinear thinks before I go to bed. I know that's not the correct one, but it's really close. So something definitely happened over there. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? I guess within like almost no error. Wait until we find the right combination. Then we'll literally have no error. Ooh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Let's look at a couple more. Let's just look at the easy stuff real quick. Let's do XT. Oh no, there's nothing else to really look at, is it? At the moment. We got to figure out which candidates belong to which group. So you could probably put Warren in with like Biden and maybe Bernie against Bloomberg. Or maybe the others actually count as well. I could get an immediate Zeta. It would tell us sort of what to look at. So let's see. I just want to see like one more thing. I am very tired. I want to figure it out. Zeta 1. Maybe we haven't even looked at the hybrid yet. Zeta 2, Zeta 3. This would be the correct. If I was ever going to use opposition form, I would do it in a primary. It would actually be really, really strong in a primary. So Zeta would be equal to E plus T divided by A S and it's divided by zeros in there. Anyway. The next one would be F and U. And then this one, the F U over E T. Ooh. Enter the right combo. F and U. Ah, I see. So that doesn't help us. We want to see instead then. We should have done instead is F plus U, okay, over D2S2 plus E2 plus T2. So this would be zeta grand, okay? Then maybe we can get an XY grand. Maybe that would complete our understanding of the situation. It's extremely linear. Let's take a look. Let's try. So let's do grand aggregate here. So I feel like this is the way it would chug along. DSET We're going to do D. All of Biden's votes here. D2 was DSE plus C2. Okay. So the first aggregate is XY combined. We want to see that into T. And we want to see the grand aggregate. Okay, hit me. Oh! All right, we got to find which candidate has to be paired with Bernie. This also might be, that's a hybrid spiral, by the way. There's a hybrid arc in there. So there's either something going on in the hybrid, or if it's in the standard, there's another candidate that's paired with Biden. Biden is not just alone. But the multilinear already had a very strong return. It would be strong enough for me to go to court, but not to win. Strong enough to go to court, but not to win. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of zeros in there, isn't there? That might be winnable. We'll go back, right, guys? Good night. So I'm just going to pay something one more time, guys, before I go to bed. And this is the last time I'm ever dropping this in YouTube, okay? You have 30 seconds to figure out what that means before I delete it. You have 20 seconds left. You have 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Guys, good night, okay?